know why I did that. Hey everyone, Shauna here. I'm at camp. It's camp. I'm the only one in this building, and it's a really big building, and I feel like I'm yelling, but I'm not. Anyway, so today is Wednesday, June 5th, which is the first Wednesday in June, I think. I've lost track of what day of the week it is. Anyway, the first Wednesday in June is always Tim Hortons Camp Day. Camp Day. So those of you who have been watching my videos and kind of following me for a while, or who know me in real life, know that I have spent the last 3 summers and now this summer working with the Tim Horton Children's Foundation as a camp counselor. And I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of history about the Tim Horton Children's Foundation based on the knowledge that is inside my brain. So if some of the exact dates aren't 100% right, you get the idea. So way back when, I don't know when, 60s, 70s, I'm not really sure. There was a guy named Tim Horton, and he was a hockey player, and I think he was pretty famous. He played for the Maple Leafs, maybe, at one point. He was pretty legit. Anyway, and I guess him and he had this friend named Ron Joyce, and they were like, let's make a coffee donut shop. I don't really know that much about the Tim Horton store and why that's a thing. But anyway, so they made this Tim Horton restaurant. It was a thing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so then I guess it was moderately successful. I mean, it's still a thing now, so I suppose it gained success, and Tim Horton was a famous hockey player, and he had this restaurant, and it was like, boo! And then in the early to mid 70s, I'm not actually sure when this happened, Tim Horton was driving, I think, from Buffalo to Toronto, home from a hockey game, and he was in a car accident and died. Very sudden, tragic death. Anyway, so then Ron Joyce, his friend who helped him make the Tim Horton restaurants, was like, my friend who had a lot of money is dead and I don't know what to do, but he really liked helping kids, so I'm going to use some of this money that he had from being a famous hockey player and from the Tim Hortons restaurants, and I'm going to make a children's camp, and people who can't afford camp, kids who cannot afford to go to camp, will go to this camp because Tim Horton loved children and he loved helping people, and I think, I don't know, I didn't know Tim Horton, I don't know. Anyway, so Ron Joyce created the Tim Horton Children's Foundation. I'm not exactly sure if that was the very first name or if it's kind of been adapted, but he opened in 1974, he opened the Tim Horton Memorial Camp in Parry Sound, Ontario. It was the first foundation camp to open, and it was in memory of Tim Horton. He had died, had all this money. Ron Joyce opened this camp. It was cool. So I'm not sure when this was always how it was, this is how it is now. The store owners of the Tim Horton restaurants pay to send kids to camp. So that's how it was. I think that's how it's always been. Anyway, so about 10 years later, 12 years later, mid-80s, the Memorial Camp in Parry Sound is still the only foundation camp. So the store owners in Atlantic Canada, in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI, and I think Newfoundland, I think all 4 provinces, got talking, started thinking, we're like, we want a camp in Atlantic Canada on the East Coast. We want kids from out here to get to go to camp too. Let's get on this. So in 1986, the Atlantic Canada store owners started the first Wednesday of June, something they called Camp Day, where they would, every coffee that was sold in every Tim Hortons restaurant in Atlantic Canada, the store owners would donate that money into a pool or a pot, I'm not really sure, so that they could build a camp in Atlantic Canada. And fun fact, not only did the Atlantic Canada store owners fundraise all the money for this camp that I am at right now to be built, they also, the store owners themselves, came and helped actually build the 2 main buildings, the dorm that I'm in right now, and the Atlantic Canada house, which is where we eat and stuff like that. So not only did they raise all the money for them to be built, they physically came and helped build the buildings. So in 1988, the Tim Horton Children's Camp in Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia, where I am right now, was opened as the second camp within the Tim Horton Children's Foundation. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry, I had to move around because I was out in the middle of the dorm, and then some of the guys who work with the maintenance team were doing work, and then one of the women who works with the housekeeping team was doing work, and I was just like, I am being in everyone's way. Anyway, So what I said before basically is how Camp Day started, and it's still, I think this is like the 27th, I made that number up, somewhere around there, year of Camp Day though, and it's like a really big deal. It's our biggest fundraiser. Last year in one day on Camp Day we raised $11 million, so it's a really big deal. So if you are watching this video and it is still Wednesday, June 5th, please go to a Tim Hortons restaurant and buy a coffee. 100% of everything for coffee. Like if you buy a coffee and it's like $2.25, I just totally made that number up, $2.25 that you give them, all 100% of that goes directly to the foundation. The restaurant takes 0% of the coffee money on Camp Day, which is today. So please go and buy coffee. If you don't like coffee, or it's late at night, or it's no longer June 5th, any day of the year, anytime, you can go to www.sendakidtocamp.com to donate money. I think it's just like with your credit card or like PayPal. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can donate like any amount that you want. Or you can, any day of the year as well, you can text the word camp to 45678 to donate $5. It just goes on to your next phone bill. It's super easy, super painless. That's what I'm doing today because of health reasons, really far outside of my control. I'm not able to be in a Tim Hortons restaurant today for Camp Day. I'm at camp and all of my counselor friends are out at restaurants and I'm not allowed doctor's orders. So I am going like Twitter and Facebook and everything Camp Day crazy today. I'm wearing my Camp Day shirt, and anyway, please, if you can, donate whatever you are able to Camp Day to the Tim Hortons Children's Foundation, because we couldn't do this without you, and it's an amazing organization, and it, for those of you who don't know, it helps kids who are financially underprivileged, that's what I like to say, who wouldn't be able to, for whatever reason, they wouldn't be able to afford to go to camp. Their parents cannot. They don't have the extra funds to send them to camp for whatever reason. So Tim Hortons store owners pay for them, sponsor them to come to camp, and it's a big deal for them. It's once in a lifetime and they love it. But we are a nonprofit organization, so we literally cannot do this without you. So please donate. It would mean the world to me. Thanks, guys. Mwah. I love you. Bye.